Hi, y'all. Welcome to the Fearless Female Entrepreneur Podcast. I'm Katerina Kormas, certified mindset and confidence coach and believer that everything you dream of creating in your life is possible for you. This podcast is so much more than about being an entrepreneur. It's about being the woman who unapologetically and fearlessly goes out after what she desires. This is where you shift your mindset, your beliefs, and your perspectives and ignite your confidence so you can transform your life and business. This podcast is all about living life your own way, deeply connecting to your own intuition and leading yourself to success. This is where you become an energetic match for all that you desire in your life and business. Your wildest dreams and fulfilling life are waiting for you, and I'm so grateful to be able to guide you along the way. I'm so glad you're here. Grab your favorite hot beverage, your headphones, and a journal, and let's jump in. Hello. Welcome back to the Fearless Female Entrepreneur Podcast. I am sitting here at my desk, at my computer on New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2023, a few hours before the ball drops in Manhattan, recording this episode for you. And before we jump in, today we're really going to dive into how to set yourself up for success when it comes to your New Year's resolutions and your goals and your vision. I really want you to achieve what you desire. I really want you to get there. I really want you to become her. I want you to be empowered by who you become. I want you to be proud of the journey that you take to get there. So I'm looking forward to really giving you the tools today to succeed. But before we jump in, I want to just do a little bit of reflecting on this year, on the past few years, on what I've learned, what I'm taking with me in 2024. There's a big part of me, in all honesty, that doesn't want 2023 to end. And I think part of that is that for those of you that are new here, I had a puppy, a 13 and a half year old dog named Chocolate, who was my heart and soul. He was my baby, my buddy, my sidekick. I used to call him the chief joy officer of my business because he was just, I'd get off calls and Chocolate would prance in with his happy grin on his face, being like, "I'm ready to play, mom." um, and that happened 5 weeks ago today, that he passed away. And this year has been one of the most beautiful, traumatizing, hard, gratitude, gratitude filled journeys as Chocolate went through lung cancer. And it taught me so much about life. And in all honesty, I've been a coach for 7 years now. I've been an entrepreneur for a little longer than that. Um, and I really did struggle. I struggled with all the shoulds on what I should do, what my life should look like, what my definition of success should be. I should want the $500,000. I should want the $1 million business. I should want this empire. I should want a big house. I should want to travel the world. I should want. And I basically made every decision by the should. Frantically trying to grow my business in ways so I can reach those arbitrary goals. And this year was the most humbling, the most lesson filled year. And at the end of it, just coming out this side of being at peace with what I truly want. And it just astounds me that I used to identify my self-worth by how much money I was making in my business, how much money I had in the bank. I remember being booked out in my massage business, booked out, booked out. But because I wasn't hitting, $100,000 a year from my booked out business, it didn't count and I didn't feel successful. And now I look at life so differently and numbers so differently. And it was because of this beautiful, traumatizing year. And I think we can all look back. We all haven't had, the world has not had the easiest last few years. If we think of back to, I don't know if y'all remember New Year's Eve, the 2019 going into 2020, we all had those hopes and dreams, and this was gonna be the year. And then everybody on the planet realized, well, the universe has a different plan. This is not going to go our way. Then 2021 came and we were all like New Year's Eve, ready for 2021, tiptoeing in. Things really haven't gotten better yet. And then we're like, okay, 2022 is here. This is going to be the year. And for a lot of people, it was. For me, I had high hopes, and it wasn't. It wasn't the year I expected. A few months into 2022, my grandmother, who I spoke to every day on the phone, started losing her memory, getting weaker, had to go into assisted living, and eventually passed away. And that was not what I saw as the ball dropped in 2022. I did not anticipate that was going to be my year. Same last year. I had goals and dreams for my business, my Facebook group, my podcast, my programs, the women I was going to help. And then March 2nd hit and Chocolate was diagnosed with lung cancer. And I think what it's these last few years, we can all look back at the hard times. We can all look back at how maybe nothing went the way we expected. Maybe we had losses. Maybe it just was tough. Maybe things just didn't pan out the way we wanted. But there was so much growth in it. And I really do think that when we can, it doesn't diminish the hard times or the emotions or how we feel or the trauma that happens. But if we can also embrace that lessons happen, you know, I miss Chocolate every day, but I really do think he taught me so much. I really do think this was my biggest growth year to date. I had to learn to trust my intuition on a whole new level. I had to face the toughest decision of my life by saying goodbye to him. He was my heart and soul, still fresh, just 5 weeks later. But there was actually this moment a week or so ago after he had passed away when my therapist asked, "What would Chocolate want you to do?" And I realized after she asked me that question, the only thing he ever cared about was joy, living in the moment, having fun. I mean, this dog found life fascinating. He would sit in his backyard as if that small backyard was his kingdom. I mean, it was like his land. Just to be in that backyard, he was just happy as a clam. Everything was just exciting to him. He had this spirit of like that 4-year-old kid that just like, wow, that's amazing. Wow, I want to see that. I want to explore. I want to see more. And I realized he wanted me to do my own thing because he did his own thing. Chocolate was one of those dogs that he was super smart and you could train him, but he was only going to do what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. And I think he would want me to do life my way, to stop caring about anything else and just go explore and have fun and do it. And it was this moment of truth when she asked me that, when I realized I was living somebody else's dreams, not my own. I was sitting there going, shouldn't I want more? Shouldn't I want more money? Shouldn't I strive for an empire? Shouldn't I strive for blah, blah, blah? Shouldn't my business look like this? And it just realized that those weren't my dreams. That's not what I wanted. Um, and I get to take that lesson with me in 2024. And you get to take the lessons from 2023 into 2024, and you get to decide what you do with them. So for me, I'm going back to my roots, where I started when I decided to leave my nonprofit career to do my own thing, to be here, to coach you, to make a difference in this world, to follow my purpose. And that purpose is to help you not only achieve your life and business dreams, not only help you achieve having a successful business where you're working with your clients and you're attracting your best clients and you're seeing everything unfold and money's flowing into your bank and you're doing what you love every day. Not just that, because there's so much more. I want you to love the journey to get there. I want you to have fun and enjoy it and to not, not stay in careers or stay stuck in careers that you don't love, but instead lead yourself by doing things that feel easeful and joyful and spark passion in you. It's all about finding joy in the journey of who you're becoming. And 7 years ago, when I started my business, I don't know how many of you were around back then, but my business name was True Joy Coaching. And then I changed it to True Joy Experience. And it was because I wanted to help women love their lives. I wanted to help them find their true joy. I wanted to help them give themselves permission to do it their way. In 7 years that I've been a coach, I've seen thousands of women either struggling by staying where they are, afraid to take action, afraid to leave their careers, afraid to go out after their dreams, or women that took the leap but then stay stuck and struggle to start their dream business or grow their dream business because they're trying to do things they think they should do or in ways that aren't really right for them because they don't feel like they have the permission to do it their way. And I am here to tell you, you do. And this is where we stop the cycle. This is where, starting with this episode, you learn how to lead yourself to make the decisions that are best for you. And that's where I'm taking you this year in this podcast, in the new Becoming Signature program I'm launching. We're cutting the cords. We're leaving the shoulds behind. We're learning to lead ourselves with our thoughts and our beliefs and our actions, all the ones that are best for us and perfect for us. And today's episode is number 3 in the Lead Yourself series. So if you've been following along, we had 3 other episodes. I took a little break to just enjoy the festivities of the holidays, but we are back with number 3. Or maybe this is number 4, y'all. I don't even know. I just said number 3, but I think there were 3 others. So this is number 4. And today is about turning those resolutions, the things you're thinking about right now. So as New Year's Eve, you're probably drinking some champagne and having fun, but you're also probably thinking about what you're going to be doing in 2024. And so this episode is going to help you turn those into your reality. And it's all about becoming that future self. And it's going to guide you on how to turn those goals for the new year into what you actually achieve and experience. It's like the process of it. I'm teaching you the process that you're going to do every single day to get there. And it's not just about the goals and it's not just about, you know, the journal prompts and doing the vision journaling or vision, creating a vision board. This is about knowing who that future version of you is, the one you think about a year from now, right? It's deeply connecting to her so that she becomes this kind of guide for you over the next 12 months. Wouldn't that be great? I wish I could have my future self like come back and be like, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what to do every single day to get to where I am in the future. Wouldn't that be lovely? Little breadcrumbs. Here's the thing, I want you to know your future self so deeply, like kind of like your best friend, that it feels like, she's literally holding your hand and she's whispering in your ear and telling you why every action is giving you information to get you to where you desire to be, because we all know that not every action automatically leads us to a result we desire, but to have somebody in our ear saying, hey, but it's working, keep going. Everything that happens to you, every experience you have, every action you take is ultimately leading you to where you desire to be eventually. especially when your actions are aligned to that outcome. And this process that we're going to go through today, this kind of exercise, um, the whole becoming process, it's it's going to help you really align like the right actions to what you want, right? We could take a lots of actions and sometimes they become like the long way to get to where we want to be. We're going to do a shortcut. What I'm going to share with you today is literally your shortcut to where you want to be a year from now. So if you remember like the second episode of the series, episode number 71, you already tapped into that future version of you. We did a powerful guided visualization. If you haven't done it yet, definitely press pause here, go do that. It's going to show you who you are a year from now or in the future somewhere. You already saw her in that visualization and she's doing what you desire to do. Now you get to be very intentional about what that is, what that looks like. And now you get to know her and act as if you are her. So let's take it one step further. What I want you to remember and what we discovered last week when you wrote that letter to your, or not last week, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, when you wrote the letter to your former self, is that each experience, scenario, heartache, celebration, milestone, tribulation that you go through in life is shaping you into somebody new. I love that. It's shaping, right? It's molding you into someone new. It's basically unearthing the next layer of who you already were born to be. The parts of you that you like haven't become acquainted with yet or that you've forgotten along the way or are buried under all the fears and doubts and conditioning that we learned in our life. A lot of times we think life is just happening to us without any relation to what we desire out of life. You know, we become so accustomed to living each day, day by day, not seeing how it all interconnects, or we haven't actually decided what we want to create in our lives. Maybe, we don't, we're not realizing that we actually have the power to create our future. And there are basically two ways we get to live our life, and you get to choose. You can live it on autopilot with life taking control, or by realizing that we create our realities with each thought, belief, and action, that we can consciously and intentionally create what we desire. And I think our nature is not, I don't want to say complacent. We are not complacent. We do get comfortable in the thoughts, beliefs, and actions that we take now, right? We know that it's part of who we are. I think that it's not that life takes control because we're always creating from our mind, but I think we're always creating from a very comfortable place. And that's why you wake up every day and you repeat the same day, right? It's like Groundhog Day over and over and over again. It's like being on a treadmill. You're like, I'm doing the action, but I'm not going anywhere. It's because it's like we're playing the same tape in our mind over and over and over again, right? The same beliefs, the same habits, right? The same excuses. Well, I'll work out tomorrow. Well, I'll send that email tomorrow. Well, I don't know how to do that, so I won't do that. Right? It's not a bad thing. It's just the choice we make. We decide to stay where we are. We decide that it's easier to say no, or it's easier to push it off another day and procrastinate. But when we intentionally choose, right? If you are one of those people right now sitting there going, this is the year. We hear this everywhere, over on Instagram, on Facebook right now. Everything's like, this is the year, this is my year, this is the new year, new me, right? It can be, and I'm going to give you those steps right now on how it can be your year. But the only way it can be your year is if you intentionally commit to it and you get uncomfortable. Because I'm going to tell you right now, for you to become the person that has what you desire on that vision board, in your vision journal, You are going to have to get uncomfortable. You are going to have to do new habits. You're going to have to make new choices. Your body, your mind, your nervous system is wired based off of everything you've put in it up until now. That's become your operating system like a computer. The only way to see something different, to believe new beliefs, to have a different external reality is if you rewire and recode that system. And the only way, think about everything in you right now that you believe, everything you know how to do. It took years to get there to program that into your mind because you've seen evidence of it over and over and over again because you've been playing that tape over and over and over again. You now have to rewire it, and it's not going to take overnight because you are operating from all those thoughts, all those habits, all those choices that you consistently make every day. It's going to feel like you're brainwashing yourself. It's going to be hard. It's not going to feel right at first. And that's why people never get to February 1st and have the motivation to continue on. Why they get to June 1st and are like, I know I didn't even start my goals this year because you went back to old habits. You made I don't want to say easy choices. They're easy choices because they're known choices, right? It's easy to do something that's comfortable that you've done over and over again. It is harder to commit to, I'm going to believe this instead even though I don't see evidence. I'm going to do this instead even though I'm not going to see a result right away. That's why people have these weight loss goals and they're like, I'm going to join the gym, and they join the gym and they pay the money, and they might go for the first 3 weeks. It is hard to go the 4th week. It is hard because your body's like, we've never done this before. Your mind's like, well, we've never done this before. Look, you haven't lost the 20 pounds in the 3 weeks. It's not working. We might as well go back to our old habits. It's nothing wrong with you. Your body just doesn't know this new you that commits to going to the gym at 6 o'clock every night. That your body is like, why don't we feel good? Why isn't it working? Why don't I see weight losing? Like, why am I don't see my clothes fitting differently in the last 3 weeks, so it's not working. Yet if you kept up with it and it became this habit, eventually it would have to work because you are consciously making choices and you will feel better, but you have to give yourself time. And the same goes for business. You are not going to see the result. You might get an instant win, you might sign a client right away, but it might take you a while before you get your second client, right? But you are becoming this person. You are taking action. As long as you continue to show up, eventually you'll get there, but you have to get uncomfortable and do new things and be consistent with being uncomfortable until uncomfortable becomes comfortable. And then you see the results. Then you become that person. So when we actually choose to consciously and intentionally create what we desire, um, and we do that over and over again, that's when life just changes. And it doesn't just change, your confidence shifts, the way you see yourself shifts, the way you prove to yourself that you can do new things, that you can create the life you want. It's If you ever see those people that are successful and then they're successful again and successful again and successful again and successful again, they're like, oh my God, they're like constantly winning at life. It's because they kept going the first time. The first time is always the hardest, right? When you're going out after something big, it's really hard until you get there. And you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. And then you have this next level confidence. And then you can go set that new goal, and you've already proved to yourself that you can do something that's uncomfortable that you've never done before and still succeed. And then you can go out and do that next thing. It is building muscle. But everything takes time. If you trace your life backwards, everything takes time. Your transformation does not happen overnight. There is no such thing as overnight success. With people that say I was overnight success, no, overnight success is defined probably by them that they did years and years and years and years and years and years and years without seeing any results. And then they found their thing. They did it their way. They showed up. They had a foundation going. And as soon as they ignited that thing that was like, this is meant for me, they had already set up the foundation. It wasn't overnight success. Nothing happens overnight. It takes a bunch of events, experiences, trials, actions, beliefs to actually create what you desire. Think about it this way, like, everything that you have ever had as a big goal, right? It took time. It took 18 years of schooling to get to college, and then years of college to get a degree, and then years of working to become a managing partner or a boss or a CEO or director. It takes years in a relationship to get to a marriage. And yes, there are exceptions to that, but it still takes time. It took 9 months for you to be ready to be born. um, it took days and weeks to learn how to drive. It took becoming. It took you becoming somebody in that process to learn, to grow, to expand. And so today, we're going to start the process of becoming that future version of you. Today is the day you start, you continue. Let's say you continue the process because you've been becoming who you're going to be this whole time. 2023, you were becoming her. 2022, you were becoming her. 2020, you were becoming her, even if you have totally different dreams. It was leading you to this realization of this is what you want. And so we're going to tap into that you, whether it's 1 year, 2 year, 5 years from now. And we're going to ask ourselves, like, what is she doing? What does she believe? What has she learned about herself? What habits does she embody? Who is she? Who is she? Grab your journal and really do this exercise. Get to know her because you already know her. You already know who you want to be. You already know the habits you want. You ever sit there and be like, when my life is perfect, I will have a personal trainer and I will do these things, or I will hire somebody to do this. That is her. Yeah, future version of you is making that choices because that choice because she realizes it's going to give her something. So really think about, like you would do if you're creating a vision board, right? What are the things you want? But go a step further and think about it in terms of the person, not the items. We're going to talk about this in a second. Think about her. She is somebody different because if she believed the same things you believe right now and she took the same actions or you took the same actions, like, you would be her now, but you're not, right? So there's something different, and we're going to get into that difference in a second. But really journal. Goals and dreams are so important. They really are. Having things you desire, visions for where you want to go, what you want to achieve. They're all so important. Have you, ever created a vision board? I don't know. Not everybody has, apparently. But if you haven't, vision boards are fun. They're great. I love creating them every year. And I actually create a digital one every quarter. And creating a vision board it really is one of the most powerful ways to remind yourself every single day of what you're aiming for. And the way to think about a vision board to really make it successful is think about your vision board as visual representations of the things that will make you feel a certain way. If you think about everything you want, the tangible stuff, it's giving you really want it for the feeling, right? You want the money so you feel abundant, you feel safe, you feel like you don't have to worry anymore about money. Maybe your vision board is like, I'm going to take Pilates classes every week. Well, it's not just about the Pilates, it's about what your body is going to look like, how you're going to feel in your body, right? How graceful you're going to feel, how toned you're going to look. If you want a successful business, it's going to give you excitement and passion and time with your family and It's going to make you proud of yourself, right? They represent feelings of like joy, abundance, safety, security, peace, calm, confidence. And the thing about vision boards is that if you envision yourself having the things on the board, you are seeing that new version of you, a version of you that had to step into the belief that it was possible to have those things. You are seeing a version of you that had to take action and make decisions every single day to achieve those things. You're seeing a you that had to try and fail, who spent long hours working hard, had to, get out of her comfort zone and try new things, had to keep showing up even when she didn't see the results. What you're seeing is the you that you are right now, become that new version by making decisions each day, by choosing the thoughts, choosing the beliefs, and choosing the actions, even if you're not seeing the results yet, and choosing those things that would get you where you want to go, not based on where you are now. And that's really, really important. A lot of times we make decisions off of now, what's comfortable for us now, what's easy for us now, what beliefs we hold now. But that just keeps you where you are. You have to make decisions based off of where you want to go. And that might be really uncomfortable. It might be easier to go watch TV instead of go blog. It might be easier to, I don't know, go, play a video game than it is to create content or do a podcast or sell your offer online, right? But you get to decide which is the future you want. The one where you're successful and people know about you and your business, or the you that's watching TV. Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with watching TV or playing video games. But if you're constantly choosing that over doing something to move you forward, you're always going to stay where you are. You have to lead yourself. That person in that vision board, that person that you're dreaming about had to lead herself. And you're going to have to get uncomfortable. You are going to have to choose what to do each day, even when things are hard. And then choose those actions again tomorrow that align to where you want to be. And then the next day, choose those same actions. And then the next day, choose it again. And you're going to have to release some thoughts and beliefs and habits that are keeping you where you are now. You are going to have to say goodbye to them. There are no shortcuts. You're in the driver's seat. You're in control. You make the choices on what you keep showing up for, but you still have to go through the process. So here's an example. If you want a successful podcast with maybe 4,000 downloads each month, right? You need to record the first podcast. You need to record that first podcast episode, even if you don't have the fancy camera, even if you don't have the fancy equipment, you have to record it and you have to put it out in the world. It's the only way for people to find it is if you do it. And that means it may be scary. Might mean working through some imposter syndrome, fear of people judging you. It may mean getting over the fear that no one is going to ever listen to this podcast, but you have to get over that hurdle first. You have to record it, you have to release it, and then you have to do it again and again and again and again. You'll have to go from, who am I to do this? That was me. I was like, who am I to do a podcast? I'm not a famous person. I'm not a celebrity. I'm not a radio host. If nobody listened, nobody listened. It's okay. People listened and didn't like it. Sure, I'm not going to know about it. I don't know if they're going to like it or not. I have no idea. They're not, I'm hoping they don't tell me. I don't really want to know. But you have to go from, who am I to do this, to, I am a podcaster. This is what I do. And there'll be episodes people will love and episodes people won't listen to. You'll have to get over your first bad review, maybe a year of only hitting 30 downloads per episode. Maybe you'll have to try new marketing tactics. Maybe you have to learn how to, work on SEO. But each step is part of the becoming process until all of a sudden you hit 500 downloads a month. And then all of a sudden you keep going and 800 downloads a month, and then 2,000 downloads a month. And then all of a sudden you're at 4,000 downloads per month. Maybe it'll take a year, maybe it'll take 2 years, maybe it'll take 5 years. And the best way to do it is to be grateful for every single person that listens and then keep showing up and doing it again. It means enjoying the process now while you reach for the bigger goal. And there are going to be moments you want to give up this year while going out after your goals. There are moments you're going to say, it's not working. I'll do it next year. If you push it off to next year, you're guaranteed not to have it this year. If you keep going, chances are it'll come faster. Each time you choose the action and belief that aligns with where you're going, you take one leap forward. But each time you choose the action and beliefs that are keeping you where you are, the easy way of doing things, the way you've always done things, you're actually delaying the becoming process. It's just in every moment we get to decide if we take the action that keeps us where we are now or the one that brings us to where we want to go. I remember Sarah Blakely. I don't know if y'all know who she is. She's the founder of Spanx. And I remember this. I don't remember if she said it in like an Instagram post or an interview or something, but she said something like for years she turned down every event invitation. Every invitation to an event she turned down because she kept her focus solely on growing her business. She's now a billionaire. But she kept deciding to make decisions based on where she wanted to be. And now she's travels the world. She has fun with her kids, her husband. She speaks and on stage, she does everything, right? But she made decisions based on the life she wanted. And this year, it's time to learn how to lead yourself. And I do want to say this. It kind of sounds like I'm thinking about like everything I just said. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it sounds so grueling and hard and not fun. But it is fun when you choose the actions that are easeful and fun, but also going to lead you to where you want to be. I think we have grown up in a world where all of it, like, it's either work or play. And yet all of us would love to like be excited about waking up on Monday. And so who just said that work can't be fun? I'm here to say you get to build your business and have fun doing it. And the more fun you have doing it, the easier it is to show up consistently more and more. And that's what I'm all about. About helping women design their life and business in a way that showing up is the easy part because they just love doing it. They're so in their power. They're so in their gift. They're so in their moment that showing up is easy. But this is where you learn how to lead yourself, how to make decisions best for you and for your future self. And I think a lot of times we have grown up in a way that we are told what to do. It is really hard to lead ourselves. I know in the entrepreneurial world, we get caught up in, uh, I need somebody to tell me what strategy to do. And it's so funny because if you think about your vision, you already have the strategy built into your vision. Like if I were to ask you about your business right now and say, well, how do you want to share your knowledge and gifts with the world, you might be like, I want a blog. Well, that's it right there. I dream of having a blog. Okay. Well, you ding 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 ding, you just have the how on building your business. You want a blog, great. That's already built into your business. For me, I wanted an online magazine and then I decided to try the online magazine as a podcast and I love it. That's how I want to build my business, my podcast. Right? So it's already built in there. And you can lead yourself by really trusting in your vision and trusting in yourself. And that's what your future self learns to do. Because if your future self has a successful business, she had to learn that. She had to learn how to trust herself. Because the only way for you to have a successful business is to do it your way. You're never going to have a successful business doing somebody else's strategy. Okay, so just how do you lead yourself? How do I lead myself to success? I want to turn these resolutions into my life. Okay, the way, the first place to start is to get to know and understand the you a year from now, as I said before. But also, like, so she is you, but she's also so much more than who you are now because she expanded into her space. I like to call it her space. You're kind of playing small because you have a lot of fears and doubts and beliefs holding you back. But when you start to shed those, you take up so much more space in this world. You touch so many more people. And that's what you want when you build a business, right? You want to impact people. So let's start. Let's start with the vision. Where do you want to be a year from now or 5 years from now? However you're doing your vision. What are you doing? And if you aren't sure, go back to that guided visualization in the last episode, um, and see what she was doing in that guided visualization. Here's what I want you to do. I'm take a piece of paper. I want you to brain dump everything from where you live, what you wear, what your business looks like, what your life looks like, your passions, your habits, the food you eat, how you spend your time, what's important to you. I want you to write this all out. But I want you to do it without restrictions based on what you believe now. This is an all things are possible vision because they are. The fact that you can envision this means that you can have it. That version of you is already in you. She is you. You just need to untether yourself from the thoughts, beliefs, and conditioning that is blocking the parts of you that need to shine for you to have your visions. But you can already have it because you can envision it. So take a few minutes and really just brain dump. Just no restrictions, all possibilities. And think of it as if you believed beyond what you believe now. Believe that anything's possible. So now that you have your vision, it's time to connect to that future version of you living your dream life a year from now. It's time to become her. I love the word become. I love it. I remember when people used to tell me, like, act as if you are her now. And I'm like, I get that, but I'm not. But the fact that you're becoming her, right? You are taking the steps to become her. I love that. So think about her. What thoughts and beliefs does she lead with? What does she believe about herself? What does she believe is possible? How does her lifestyle and her business make her feel? And this is the part that differs from who you are now. Most of the times our dreams are like blocked by our beliefs and and really only our beliefs. Our beliefs are what really stand in the way of our dreams. But if we believed it was possible right now, you'd be so much closer. And so it really comes down to what you believe. But knowing what beliefs your future self embraces, then now we can start to identify and do the inner work to rewire and reframe those thoughts so that your new beliefs that are aligned to who you're becoming become embodied, right? They become the new coding in your mind, body, and nervous system. They become how you operate. But in order to find those exact beliefs, we need to identify them. We need to see what the difference is between what you believe now and what she believes in the future. Now, take it one step further. Like, as I mentioned before, the vision is really about the feelings you want to experience, the joy, the abundance, the peace, the calm, the safety, the excitement. Why does the vision bring your future self happiness? When she's doing what you desire to be doing, What is she feeling? What are the specifics that make her happy? What about her life makes her feel abundant and joyful and peaceful and grateful and excited and secure? This journal prompt is meant to like help you connect to your why, your vision. Your vision is it's giving you something you deeply desire to experience in this life, right? The feelings. And this is how you can connect to those future emotions. So really think about what are all those elements? What about that whole vision makes her happy, makes her joyful, makes her feel abundant? Take a few minutes to journal on that. So now that you know who you're becoming, let's bridge the gap so you get there faster. Let's reflect on who you are right now in this moment. What skills and gifts are you currently using? Because you're using them. You even if they're not the gifts and skills you want to be using in your business or in whatever you're doing in the future, what are the gifts you're using now? Because you have an abundance of them. How would you describe yourself now? What beliefs, like fears, doubts, stories, do you have around what you're capable of doing and around who you desire to become? Because those stories and beliefs that you have around your capability are what's keeping you where you are right now. Those are the things we need to untether you from. So think about the tethers. What are you tethered to right now? Where do you feel stuck in your life? Like, is it the belief that you can't leave your career because X, Y, and Z? The belief that you can't start a business because my family won't approve, right? What are those beliefs? Who are you right now? If this is you, what you just wrote down, and this is you and your thoughts and beliefs that you lead with now, then what is the difference between you and your future self? Really write about the difference, right? You already saw who she is, and then you just wrote down who you are right now. What's the difference? What does she believe versus what do you believe? What does she do versus what you do? What actions is she willing to take that you're struggling and resisting to take? I want you to be honest. Really think about how you currently you, you are currently not a match for who you desire to become and what you desire to have. What thoughts and beliefs do you need to tweak, shift, change, get rid of? Where do you need to put effort into shifting your beliefs and building your confidence? What fears, doubts, and beliefs and old conditioning and thought patterns that you need to release and rewire? It's so important to know those things. A lot of people want to jump into the action when it comes to their goals and dreams because their goals and dreams might be tangible, right? And you might want to bypass the mindset stuff. No, your mindset, your belief is the fuel to taking the action. And it's also the deciding factor on what actions you're going to take. So you want your thoughts and beliefs to be the ones that are fueling the right decisions forward. And let's not forget that you are already in so many ways that future version of you. You are a match for who you are becoming. Maybe not a perfect match yet, but in parts of you are. So, what makes you a match for who you desire to become and the business that you desire to have? What beliefs, characteristics, identities, qualifications, passions, and feelings are you already embodying that are aligned to what you desire to create in your life in the next year? You are closer than you think you are. I can guarantee that. Out of all the women I've worked with in the entrepreneurial space that have wanted to quit their job and start a business, all of them way closer than they ever thought they were. You are more qualified than you think you are for whatever dream you desire to have. You probably have been more focused on why it's hard to have what you desire instead of why it's easy to have what you desire. how you have everything right now. And the future version of you, she already knows that she has what it takes because she has what she wants. She has the proof. She now has the evidence. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to borrow her proof. Borrow her belief each and every day. You already just mapped out every thought, belief, intention, habit, and action you need to take each day by doing these reflections we just went through. Now you just need to choose them every day. You already know it. It's there. You just wrote it down on paper. That is your roadmap to where you want to be. Now it is the choice to choose something that feels a little bit uncomfortable and a little hard. But once you keep doing it, it becomes who you are. If you want to lead yourself to success this year, if you want to take those resolutions and just this is the year they actually happen, you need to decide each morning. And this is what I ask myself every single morning. So write these down. I journal these every morning. Who are you today? I ask myself, who am I today? What thoughts, beliefs, and actions would the future version of me lead with today? What habits would she commit to today? How would she react to obstacles that come her way? And what does she believe is possible for her today? If you ask yourself that question, you're already mapping out your day. I write in there, I am Katarina, coach, mindset coach for female entrepreneurs. I believe that there are 4 women ready to join becoming. I believe that what I have to say on my podcast is important today. I am committed to showing up and doing XYZ today. That's it. You just need to make those decisions each day. You don't need to think about tomorrow or the future. You just need to think about today. You only need to believe this for today. You only need to do this super hard, uncomfortable thing today. You just need to overcome this challenge today. Then tomorrow, you wake up and you decide again how to lead yourself. Those hard things are going to become easier. Those beliefs you're choosing that feel like untrue, like, I have all this evidence that it's not true. I must be brainwashing myself. They're going to eventually feel natural and obvious. The new habits start to feel intuitive. So just focus on showing up for your future self as your future self each day for 90 days. That's it. I always do things in quarters. I create an annual plan, like these are my goals for the year, all that. But I stick to quarters because some quarters I'm going to hit goals, things are going to happen. Other quarters, I barely, life happens and I didn't get to anything. And then I can refresh in the next quarter, do a little like check in, reassess my goals, reassess what I need, my actions, and keep going. So do this for 90 days, then look back and see how far you've come, how much closer you are to where you want to be, how everything is coming together. Your vision isn't just a series of actions or goals or resolutions. That feels easy, right? If I have a game plan, it's easy, a strategy. It's this deeper evolution. It's a representation of who you want to be, not just what you want to have. The magic will always be who you become. I know I've said this 1,700 times in this podcast episode, but I want it embodied into you. I want this to be something you shift in yourself because it will change your life. It's the magic is always in who you become. What you have, what you experience, that's just a bonus. Remember, you can let life control you, or you can let that future version of you take you by the hand and lead you to where you want to be 1 year from now. Your vision has everything you need to succeed. You can see how it all plays out and how your future self does it. Just follow her lead. Focus on what she focuses on what feels easeful for her, what excites her, and then create the aligned action plan and strategy from that point. It'll give you the perfect for you roadmap you're desperately seeking. So remember to ask yourself those powerful questions every day to help lead yourself and make the magic happen. I hope this helped you set the stage for mapping out your vision for goal setting and your strategy for the next year. I really think that when you can embrace approaching your resolutions from this deeper vantage point, not just, okay, I want to have this thing by the end of the year. I'm going to create some action plans. No, it goes deeper. It's about your intuition, your mindset, your actions. They all have to work together. It's not just the actions, because the actions are actually, they're hard because they're new habits. And you have to build a very strong mindset and belief system, because when those new habits you're creating are hard, it is easy to quit, because your old mindset, your old wiring is saying, but I have evidence that this works over here for this reason and to get you this result. We know this. I don't know. This is hard and I don't know what the outcome is. So this is probably not safe and we probably shouldn't do it. And you'll talk yourself out of it as soon as it gets hard. So when you can really use your future self as your model, and you can see that it's going to happen, and then you decide to focus on not just the actions but also your belief system, that is when people have fast results. That's when things change quickly, and that's when you change quickly. So I want to invite you, the doors are open to Becoming. Becoming is my new group coaching membership. I created this membership. It's low cost membership, monthly membership. It's $88. I created this because I know that anything you're going out after is going to be a process. It is going to be a journey. And I know, and I've seen in the coaching industry how hard it is to make a big investment in a program that's limited, right? Maybe it's only 6 months, a year, 3 months, and then you don't see the results that fast. And then you feel like you're left out. I don't want you to feel left out. I don't want you to feel like you're left out in the cold, right? So this is a group coaching membership. We do a mindset coaching session a month, each month, a business strategy session, coaching session per month, co-working sessions per month, live Q&A sessions. We kick off with creating, you get a 30-minute call with me. We work on creating your quarterly plans. So the group will get together quarterly to make the quarterly plan. You're going to make your business plan in here. You're going to have a plan of action. You'll have a community where you can ask questions, as many questions as you have. Um, and you'll get to meet some fantastic female entrepreneurs building their dream lives and businesses as well. And you can collaborate together and you can make friends and you can get feedback, and it's a safe space. And it is all about your growth. It's all about your belief system and the aligned strategy just for you, right? The perfect for you strategy on getting to where you desire to be. So doors are open. You can click the link in the description of the podcast. I hope you come join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I am there to have eyes on your business, to help guide you along the way. So, yeah, doors are open and hope to see you in there. Bye, everyone.